Hello, this is Amy with the Intuitive Angel, and I'm here with my friend Anne Marie. Come on, Anne Marie, poke your head.
Hello.
There's Anne Marie. Anne Marie is being my Dave and Way Willenway bird today, so I'm so happy about that. And we're here to do your readings. We're going to be doing angel readings today, and we're going to talk a little bit about angels and how angels affect your life and how every day we're there with angels. But I'm going to do something first. I'm going to check a little bit to see if we are actually live, because I am not good at figuring that out. So let's see here. You're live. We're building an audience. So it looks like I am, but I am not. Oh, there I am. Okay, good. So without Dave here, we're just going a little bit crazy. We don't know how exactly to do everything. So back to angels and angels in your life. One of the things Anne Marie and I were talking about just moments ago was that we're never, ever, ever, ever alone. Angels are always with us. Hi, everybody. So glad you're checking in. They're there to protect us. They're there to give us a kick in the buns. They're there to, I was going to say kick in the bunda, Brazilian. They're there to help us to move forward. They're there to help us make our wishes come true. The thing a lot of people don't understand about angels is that they're enjoined by God not to directly interfere unless it's a life or death situation. For instance, I've heard many, many stories of people turning around. There's headlights. They see the car coming at them in a skid. They're frozen, and then suddenly they're on the side of the road and they don't know what the heck happened. That's angelic intervention. And angels are able to do that because they actually have mass. Unlike spirits, angels exist fully just like you do, only in another dimension, and they're one of the few dimensional beings that can cross back and forth. Spirits are a little bit different because they live in yet another dimension, and they don't have very much mass. A spirit can have about this much mass, like a normal pen, okay? But an angel, on the other hand, can move mountains. An angel can lift up a boulder. An angel also has magical abilities. An angel is able to make things appear and make things disappear. And an angel is probably the very best friend that you can have. So how do you get to know your angels? When I teach, one of the things that I always tell people is go ahead. Oh, hi, Karen, you're on. Hi, Diana. Hi, Joanne. I'm so glad to see you. One of the things about angels is that you need to make friends. It really helps them to understand you. And although they come directly from God, so do you. And it can take them a little while to get to know you and who you are, and also to understand the human state. And since they're enjoined not to interfere directly, they have to know, well, who are you? What do you listen to? I mean, do you automatically tune out your mother when your mother tries to give you advice? Do you believe in education? So if it's in a book, is that a good thing? Would you rather see things than hear things? The angel wants to know about you. So when I was first dealing with angels, and when I was first bringing them into my life and beginning to channel, thank you for the heart, that's so nice. When I was able to do that, I made friends by having tea every morning with my angel. And at first I felt silly, and my children thought I was nuts, because that happens all the time. Did your kids ever think you're nuts, Anne Marie?
Always.
Always, yeah. So I would set the table. I had placemats, and I would put a teapot down, and I would put 1 cup for the angel and 1 cup for me. I would fill both cups. And I would say, hi, how are you today? How's it going? It's always safe to pick one of the archangels. You can get a lot of information about archangels, and so you can invite Archangel Raphael, who is a healer angel, or Michael, who's a warrior angel, or Archangel Jophiel, who's about beauty, to your table. And I would say, how is it going up in the angelic realms? And then I babble on about my day and how it was going and what my plans were. And I did this for probably 6 weeks. You have to be very dedicated because at first you just think you're crazy. After a couple of weeks, I began getting a sense of like another mind coming into my mind. So I realized that people could have thoughts that were not theirs, and I could understand those thoughts that weren't theirs. Okay, and we had a little glitch, but we're better now. So I realized that those thoughts were not mine. So one of the big things is to know yourself. If you don't know who you are, if you're vague on what kind of personality you have, you should probably start with the personality part first. You can read something called the Enneagram, Enneagram, Enneagram. It's a wonderful book that types people according to 9 different personality types and then subtypes. Myers-Briggs is another wonderful one. If you just go to the bookstore or online to psychology profiles, you can pick out a number of these little things you fill out, then you learn about yourself. So it's very important to learn about yourself. I really can't stress that enough, because then you understand that the thought that's coming is not your own thoughts, it's a thought from someplace else, because it's so very different than yours. So for instance, your guardian angel might say to you, Amy, you really should clean your closet. I mean, really, can't the guardian angel just tell me how to save the world or what to do or how to be magical? But no, it's clean your closet. And I was like, no, that's my own mind saying that I need to be more diligent in being neater and not so klutzy. I need to weed out things. But it's my own mind. It's when I want to move forward. I want to be a better psychic. What the heck does cleaning the closet have to do with it? So I ignored it. And it got so that every time I sat down for my tea, we would open up with, really, I mean it, clean your closet. It's important to clean that closet. This went on for about 8 months. The angel pretty much will get tired of telling you. But what I discovered once I finally surrendered, and actually I emptied out the entire closet, and I started putting things back in, and I realized it is a metaphor for emptying out your mind and then putting the things back in that are valuable for you. And I found out that I didn't need, so hello Donna, so I didn't need that many things. I was freed in my heart and in my soul. And so the angel wasn't being just like another how-to book. The angel was very clearly telling me I needed to do it. And shortly thereafter, things went really crazy in my life. And if I hadn't had that experience of cleaning out the closet, I would have never had, hello there, thank you for all the hearts, that's so nice. I would have never had the clarity to be able to clean out the various new agey things that come up. And that's very important for you, because anybody who's watching this video is actually probably believes in angels and fairies and mermaids and other kinds of spirituality. They believe that they have spirit guides and guardian angels and all these kinds of things next to them, which in my book you absolutely do. But you have to be able to focus on one aspect. Because if you wake up in the morning and ask your guardian angel a question, and then you ask your spirit guides a question, then you ask your animal guides a question, honestly, you won't get the laundry done. That's what happens. So we're going to get right to doing readings. I like to show people that readings are about being centered. So I, the reader, need to be centered. I need to take a deep breath. I need to connect to the cards. The cards don't really, they themselves don't mean all that, they're not magical in and of themselves. They're magical because the angels connect to them. So a card means what it means. Like for instance, this one and I don't know if you can see it very clearly because the light is on it. There we go. This is the Art of Eternal Love. This is a card about Metatron. Metatron is the only angel that was ever in human form. He learned what it was like to be a human. His name in human form was Enoch, and he was in the Bible. He is about the true epitome of love, which means you really don't question it. You are loved, the people around you are loved, their behavior might not be too good, or your behavior might not be too good, but there's not a time when you are not loved by the divine. That's just the way it is. And Metatron's power comes from his knowing that. So he often comes up in a reading if somebody's been having trouble. So we're going to start our readings. We're going to shuffle the deck. We're going to let the angels arrange them. So you're going to get the perfect card for you. Okay, here we go. Oh, and I want you all now, I just got notice that the 6th child from that bus accident just died. So please send some hearts. Prayers are very, very important to guide children to heaven, to guide them to the garden. It's where all your animals go. They go to this beautiful garden, and when little souls, children come, they gather around them and they help them move into the garden. So please send some hearts for the journey of this other child and all of the children who died in that bus accident. So we're going to say a little prayer. Please, angels, hold them and guide them and help them through their transition. Good. Anytime you hear something, don't yada yada yourself. Don't say this guy is guilty. Oh my God, look at that. Just pray immediately for their journey. And I'm going to tell a quick story. There was a lady, one of my clients, who was in a traffic jam, and she was really angry. Everybody was angry. They were honking, and then she realized that up ahead there was a big accident. So she began praying. And she said she didn't even know why she did it. She just decided to detach from all the horn honking and the anger and worrying about whether she'd get to her destination. So she prayed and she prayed and she prayed. And then finally traffic let up, the ambulances left. And about 8-9 weeks later, there was her doorbell rang, and it was a man with a bunch of flowers. And he handed her the flowers, and he said, "I was the person who was in the accident, and I was out of my body, and I saw hearts coming out of your car. And I knew that someone there was praying for me, and I stopped being frightened, and I allowed myself to come back into my body even though I was injured, and I got your license number. That's how I found you."
Oh my.
Yeah. So the world is filled with really amazing stories, really amazing things. So any prayer that you do is very, very, very important. I can't tell you. Those little hearts you just sent for those children can make all the difference in their journey. All right. So who's our first person, Anne-Marie?
Our first person is Emily, March 30th, can't read your handwriting, 1979, in Bordertown, New Jersey.
Okay, Emily. So we're going to do the normal layout, which is in a layout, and I'll show you the cards. The first card, in doing these readings online, I use the simple 3-card layout. So the first card, and in Emily's case, the first card is roses, means that it's this facet of herself that's active right now. So imagine that you have 744 facets, probably even more, but we're going to use 744, and they're all arranged into different groups of 12. So each soul works through all of these facets in their lifetime, in this material lifetime, in order to become enlightened, in order to reach their goal of oneness with God. So the active facet for Emily right now is growing. So when you grow, oftentimes it's not a happy time, because often we grow because we feel, well, imagine that you have a stone in your shoe. The stone in your shoe makes you take off your shoes and examine your feet. You might notice that you have a callus or something. You might notice that the shoes need to be resoled, or you could just use another pair of shoes. So the the irritation of growing is what causes you to make that movement forward. So Emily, you might be going through some irritating times right now because of the growing card, but it's okay, because once you understand the growing part, then you can move forward, and it's always really wonderful. The next card is the angel card. This is Believe, and this is Archangel Ariel. So she's always looked at like with yellows and things. Archangel Ariel is the, well, she's called the warrior of God. So she is tough. She wants Emily to open up her heart and believe that the things she knows she can't do, she can do. My friend Anne Marie sitting here always has trouble believing. Because she'd like, wouldn't you like your angel to give you an email or a letter or something etched in stone? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So the problem with believing is that you have to open up your heart, and you have to allow for the norm that you don't necessarily allow for. I always tell the people who come here for classes and things that the thing that kills more people is hardening of the attitudes. So when you get your attitudes hardened and you refuse to learn anything else, probably one of the most spiritual things you can do is change your mind. So, and that is annoying, right now, especially because many people are polarized politically and things. But when you step back and you understand what you've learned, your party needs to regroup itself. You've learned how you feel about things. You've learned about your neighbors. It's pretty amazing. But if you hold on to your belief system really hard, you're never going to learn anything. It's just going to bounce off. And it causes more deaths than hardening of the arteries, really. Hardening of the attitudes, you don't want that. So Emily needs to believe that she can do it. And Archangel Ariel is with her. And then lastly, I love this one. This is Archangel Jophiel. And Archangel Jophiel is always associated with plants and beauty and growth. So Archangel Jophiel is telling her that she needs to not just be in her head, but there has to be a practical application of what she's thinking. So we were talking about many of my clients are of an age where they've retired, and they don't know what to do. When my father retired, he knew what to do. He wanted to golf. That's what he wanted to do. He didn't really want it to be organized or anything. But nowadays, we're much younger at 65, 70. We're very different than our parents and our grandparents. So there has to be a plan. One of the things is, while you're waiting for the plan, you also have to do something while you wait. So volunteering is a great thing to do. There is different volunteer organizations. If you type volunteering in your town, all kinds of names will come up. And any kind of volunteering, even if it's just a small thing, could really set in motion the larger thing that you want to do. So with Emily, it's you have to go ahead and put it in motion. You can't just keep it in your head. So Emily, this means that you're going to have a very active and wonderful December, and that I would judge that in January, your heart's desires are going to begin to manifest. Okay. There we go. And who is next?
Well,
Ed McMahon, Anne Marie. Elka.
Elka is June 16th, 1962 in Germany?
Yes, she is from Germany in a S town that I can't really pronounce. So, Elka, oh, look. Now, see, isn't that odd? Because you also, I was shaking them up. Elka has the same thing, the growing card. So when you get growing many times in a series of readings, it could be that means that as a group, we all have to pay attention, and we have to allow those things that irritate us to pass so we can see how we want to grow. So pretty much all of you listening here are people who are looking for answers, who are looking for connections. So the angels are telling you we're all in a growing period right now. The second card she's got, again, application. So this means that Elke needs to go do something, and it's her primary goal. It's the thing that she needs to do now. So she may have to go get a job. If she's not working right now, she should go back to work. It's important to apply yourself to something. And you may be afraid. I get afraid of the computer because I see so many things that I could be doing, and so many amazing things. I'm one of those suckers who signs up for every new thing that's on the computer. I'm going to take classes, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and then I don't do it all because it's way too overwhelming. This means application means pick one thing. Pick one thing and do it, and then go on to the next thing. That's very important. So Elke, just pick one thing and do it. This is very sweet. This is Angel Whispers. It actually indicates, so this angel here is Archangel, it's Archangel, Archangel Raphael. Raphael is often the person who talks to you. So Raphael can take different forms. In this case, the form is a young girl. Raphael can be a young girl, he can be a handsome man, he can be a doctor, but what he's telling her is that she needs to pay attention because we need more and more people right now who can channel. We need more people who can actually accurately say what the angels are saying. And it's very interesting. Chico Xavier wrote in one of his books that the word for trader is the same as translator in Latin. So as a channel, it's a very sacred trust to pass on the information without editing it in your head. If you edit it in your head, you do a disservice to everybody, even if you don't understand it. So sometimes you might hear me say, I really don't understand what this is about, but that's good, because I'm just pushing it out there to you just as the angels are telling me, and oftentimes the client or the person knows exactly what it is. So Elke, once you get yourself settled and you're focused on something, you're going to be asked by the angels to listen to them and then to share that information. So I'm really glad to welcome a new sister into the fold. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Who's next?
Well, the next one is Diane, and her birthday is August 24th, 1959, from Chicago.
Okay, Diane. Diane. The doorway to inner peace. So that's the facet that's important for you right now. Often we find ourselves trapped in a dark room with all kinds of scary things happening. And we don't really understand that just a little bit to our left is a doorway, and when you open the doorway, there's all of the answers, the peaceful answers you've always wanted. We become enamored, I guess, of the dark and of terror. Many people like it. There's all the vampire shows and the Living Dead shows and all those kinds of things, because what it's telling us is that we can't do anything. We're stuck. Couldn't be further from the truth. All you've got to do is open up the doorway. So you're in doorway opening mode, which is pretty good. Sometimes it scares your loved ones because you're not mom anymore, you're not grandma anymore, you're moving into this new world, and they want you to always stay just the same. Unfortunately, you have to open up that door, you have to discover that inner peace, and then the excitement is going to start. So right now, it's the eternal light of love. I see this a lot when a new baby has come into someone's life, grandchildren, children, even a puppy. Any new life can trigger the Metatron energy inside of us. So you see the wonderful potential created by the divine, by God, that's in each new thing. Isn't it just beautiful when you see that? So Metatron is busy. In the next few days, he's going to be coming into you, and you're going to feel very, very empowered, realizing that it's up to you to create a good environment and a new life for these new little lives that are coming into your life. If you don't know about them yet, I'm sure they're going to show up. Okay, so the next one is believe in your dreams. When the door opens to the light, it often becomes very obvious what you actually want. Does anybody out there know what they want? No. If you do know, put a heart up. Do you know what you want? Maybe, maybe not. Okay. That's the hardest question. If I ask people, what do you want? They just always look at me blankly because they're not sure what they want. So they are very, somebody knows what they want. What this is telling you is the light is going to shine on what you want. Oftentimes when I see this card, it indicates that there's going to be some kind of a move. And moving or changing your location is one of the scariest things that we do. I'm in the process of maybe selling my house. I hope it sells, but there hasn't been a lot of action around it right now. Never have the most expensive house on the block. That's a bad thing. So that in and of itself is scary, because as I walk around the house, I think, oh no, I'm going to move someplace and I won't know where things are. You can tell I'm getting old. But when you move, when you make this move, and it can even be a new doctor. I mean, it can be physically moving to someplace else. It can be physically moving to another state, but you need to move. That's what all this opening and love is leading you to be able to move so you can more beautifully do your work. And the angel here is Archangel Gabriel, so he's yelling at you, move. Okay, Diana, you take care.
Move.
Move. It's important.
All right. Audrey, December 22nd, from Chicago. She wants to know about alliances going forward.
Okay. Well, that's really interesting, because I'm going to digress a little bit. Until 1985 or so, because I've been doing readings now for 55 years, a long time. People always ask me, where is their twin flame? Where is their loved one? So it's so interesting that she talked about alliances, because in 1985 things changed and people began looking for strong people to stand next to them. Before, we were in the age of Pisces, and you wanted that kind of person to totally support you and love you. Now it's, I am strong, I am woman, let me roar, right? And I want a man who's strong, and together we're going to do all kinds of wonderful things in the world. That's very important. So that idea of alliances is not only in your work, it's also in your love life. It's important. So in this case, the ray she came in on was the ray of ascension. So ascension is often depicted in ancient times as a tree. The Druids, they loved the oak trees, and the thought was that your soul went into an oak tree, then went up to heaven. So what she's looking for is a new way to change her life, to be a new person. It's really important for her. So that she won't be satisfied. You won't be satisfied until you find that way to actually elevate yourself. One of the things I often recommend is, actually reading the Bible. You can, any kind of elevated literature, poems by Rumi, the Bhagavad Gita, and any type of spiritual or elevated reading. The Hicks, I love Abraham and the different things he told the Hickses. So find something that transports you or elevates you. Now, in the case of the Bible, I'm not particularly a strong Christian. I'm not a Christian, but haven't been practicing. I have been through it like 3 times, because I find that book, it will either irritate me, like that stone in the shoe, and makes me think and elevates me, or it'll touch my heart and elevate me. But the key word is it always elevates me. That's just the way it is. So I might disagree, or I might whine, or I might go, aha. And there's lots of different wonderful things that happen when you take that step to elevate yourself. Next is letting go. So this one is a very amazing card, because the angel, who's up here kind of in the corner, the angel's telling you you're too attached to material things. So you have to be able to imagine yourself without all the things that are around you. You probably already started this. You've probably given away a lot of things or probably pared down. But there are material things that are sneaky, like television. I got, during the election, addicted to MSNBC. I just felt if I wasn't watching every second, I'd miss something of incredible importance in the world. And I was not willing to give it up, nor was I willing to see that whatever I was learning there wasn't necessarily true. Okay, I just felt somehow that I was safer if I was watching. So one of the things you can do is if you have a favorite TV show, turn it off mid TV show. I know, that's really hard, isn't it? It's like, ask me anything. Ask me to lose my arm. I don't care. But in your case, that letting go means that you have to let go to the thought you need to do something that's not productive. So there is no TV show that you can watch that's going to be productive for you. You actually have to be engaging and doing something. So learning to turn it off and walk away. And those of you who are saying, I can always TiVo, you're cheating, but that's okay. Just get up and walk away. It doesn't need to be done right this second. And try doing it a couple times a day. And you will eventually see that it's your inner working and the working of spirit that is more important than any material thing you're attached to. Okay? And then the outcome, oh, this is a beautiful card. This is Archangel Michael, is infinite potential. So oddly, you would think you have infinite potential by owning things. The more, I mean, in our society, the more material things you have, the better you are. So a friend of mine went around the world and shot pictures of people and all their material possessions. So he had a picture of a man with 3 wives in Africa. They were standing outside of their little hut, and they had a pan, a spoon, and a knife on the floor. They had a few woven mats, and then they had a couple of mattresses, and that was their worldly possessions. On the next page you turned it, and it was someone from Barrington, Illinois, and they had pulled all of their possessions out of their house. It covered 3 acres.
Oh my.
3 acres. They had to use a helicopter to get up and see all of the possessions. The smile on the face of the African gentleman with his 3 wives, who clearly he adored, was worth all of those million possessions. It's just amazing. So this says that if you let go, your potential to be happy, to change things is infinite. So I'm so happy for you. It's going to be a really good 2017. Okay. Anne-Marie, who's next?
The next one is Sharon, and her birthday is 3/20/1970, and she's from Aurora.
Okay. So we'll lay them out. Sharon, your first card in the ray you're in right now is strength. So I'll give an example of being strong. The antithesis of strength is not necessarily weakness, it's hopelessness. So when I was injured a few months ago, I was told I wouldn't walk. I was released to home in a wheelchair. And there wasn't much to do because I had shattered my pelvis and broken my femur, and there were pieces out. So I was waiting for the bone to regrow. So I couldn't really do too much. They didn't want me to put weight on it. And I took to watching home remodeling shows, which was great fun because I could disagree with their choices, etc. But one day, I thought to myself, I will never be able to do this again in my life. I'm too old. I'm too injured. I won't be able to knock down walls. I won't be able to change anything. If anything, my life is going to become smaller, you know, and I'm not going to have this wonderful transformation. And it made me really sad. And that night, really a light filled the bedroom, and Archangel Jophiel came, and Archangel Jophiel said, I'm going to grant your wish. What is it? And I thought to myself, oh my God, if he granted my wish to quietly move out of my life. So when you wish, somebody can come and say, as you wish. Fine, good. There you have it. You've got it. You can be stuck in a chair. You can never have any more dreams. It's fine with me. You can start shutting down. We'll welcome you with open arms. And I looked at him and said, wait, no. I can wish, and that very next day I remodeled the bathroom that's attached to my master bedroom. I called the remodeling people. I called my daughter-in-law, who's a designer. I said, we're going to do this, and they all looked at me like I was stark raving nuts. I was laying in the chair, really, with people coming and giving me food while the workmen were in and out of the bathroom, and I did it. So that's what Sharon is being asked to do. She's being asked not to let the darkness weigh down her heart. She's being asked to step forward and dare to dream, to have the strength to move forward. Okay, so that's the ray. You're never left. This is blessings. So you're never left. When you make that decision, there's never, ever a chance that it won't be granted. It'll be granted. The trouble with blessings is that they can make you a little afraid. It's like, oh my God, I opened up the butterfly cage and now my whole room is filled with butterflies. I can't even breathe. So blessings are multiple. As a soul, we can attract so much exciting and interesting possibilities to us. We can magnetize that we really have to get in touch with our angels. And we have to say, okay, let's just wrap these up in beautiful paper, put them on the shelf, and I'm going to pick one. So today is going to be this blessing day. Tomorrow is going to be another blessing day. So Sharon, I'm going to tell you, you're going to have to manage the blessings and the energies the angels are going to give you once you decide to move forward in your life. And then the end is just that. It's butterflies. You are going to be transformed. So it's just like the butterfly changes, the chrysalis changes, and it opens up. So when you look back at this time next year, when you look back to last year, you won't even really recognize yourself, because you will have taken all these possibilities and turned them into realities. Yay.
Houston, I have a problem.
Oh, yeah, what's wrong?
My iPad went dead and I can't read the names down there.
Oh, okay. We're good. Clarabelle Royals. Hi, Clarabelle. She just came. And let's just see. You know what I'm going to give you? Ari. Hi, Ari. I'm going to give you my handy dandy telephone. So I guess that iPad didn't charge as much as I thought, right? No problem. We're going to go just get you up on Facebook so Anne-Marie can read those of you who are asking for readings. So if you would like a reading, one of the things that you can do is just underneath this video in the comments, you can put your name, your date of birth, and where you're located. The reason that's important is because... Uh-oh! We all have all kinds of different things that are going on here. So we're just going to roll with it. There we go. Hey, I think maybe we've got some mischievous little cherubs.
I don't know.
I think it's quite possible that we have that. So anyway, name, date of birth, and if you are listening to this later, and location where you are. If you're listening to this later, we go back and I look at them and I put you on the list. So you'll be one of the first people who get a reading next week. So we are going to be broadcasting November 30th. I love this so much, and thank you for the 1,100 views last time. We're aiming to double that, and then maybe to double it again, because the more people who learn this, not just to get a reading, but to learn how to do it and to learn how the different entities communicate, the better life is going to be. Okay, so please share with your friends, and you can put at the bottom, if we don't get to you, we will, don't worry, because again, we will do it next week. Okay. Okay, good. So who's next, Anne-Marie?
Our next person is Karen, and her birthday is 3/22/81, and she's from Oklahoma.
Okay, Karen, this is very interesting. We have, once again, the Believe card. Sometimes, when it's the ray you came in on, The belief card means that you have to allow yourself the whimsy of believing that things can come true. Okay, that's often as we get older, we feel trapped and we don't think that anything we believe in comes true. Even my little grandchild, I was talking to him, Graydon, about fairies. And he said, "Oh, Nana, you're just silly. There are no such thing as fairies." And then the little 4-year-old said, "Well, yes, there are. I see them in the backyard all the time." Graydon got hardening of the attitudes. He might have said something about fairies in school and somebody told him, "Oh, that's just not true." And I'm going to tell a story about fairies. I was in my friend Elspeth. She lived in Scotland, Stonehaven, and I was in her fairy garden. It was a beautiful garden that kind of cascaded down in back of her house. And I'd never seen anything like it. There were beautiful ferns and shadows and light, and it was so peaceful. And I just kind of come from a transatlantic flight, so I was so tired. And I sat down on this beautiful bench, and I was just sitting there breathing in and out. And she was so proud. She said it was her fairy garden. And I was thinking like, yeah, right, okay. But I love the place. I love the energy in my heart. And then I turned to the side, and on the side was this little blue bean, not a bug, an actual bean with a face and little arms and legs and a smile. She had a face, so she had a smile. And she just looked up at me, cocked her head and smiled, and then she just bounded off. So I saw a fairy, an actual real fairy, with my real eyes, not with my mind's eye. And it literally changed my perspective. I then knew that it wasn't just wishful thinking that we had all kinds of different beings in our world. It was the reality, and I better damn well learn about it. So I learned a lot about fairies after that. Thank you, Elspeth. So that's what this is about. This is about believing. The next one is receptivity. Receptivity, that's the angel. Usually it's Archangel Gabriel, who will tell you you need to be able to repeat back to me. That's what it's all about. When you're receptive to something, you say, "I hear you, and what I'm feeling or seeing is," and then you communicate back and forth. So if your angel sends you a rainbow, you say, "Thank you, angel. This rainbow is touching my heart. What is it that I need to learn? What is attached to this rainbow that is going to make my life better?" So it's really good that she got this card, because it means she's going to be open to receiving all kinds of information. And then the last one for Karen is energy. Okay, Karen, if you get the energy, please bottle it and send some my way. I was actually just going to look and see if there was some kind of like a energy pill that truckers take to stay awake, or what's happening, because I'm really tired of being tired. Do you feel that way, Anne-Marie? Yep. Okay. So we're tired of being tired. So you're going to be blessed with energy, and it looks in this little card like it's boundless energy, like you can't really see, but there's like a waterfall coming down on top of her head, and that means that maybe that's what we need to do. We'll just put out our arms and we'll ask. We'll just say, "Please give me some energy." I think I'll try that tomorrow. I'll be thankful because it's Thanksgiving, and I'll put up my arms and I'll just get the energy. It'll be perfect. Okay, so you're going to get enough energy to do all the things I told you before, Karen, and you take care. All right. Ooh, we're whizzing right along there.
Okay. Well, we have Anita, and her birthday is 9/11/53 from Orlando, Florida.
Okay, Anita. Oh, Anita, how nice. Okay, you have awakening. Awakening is often Gabrielle. You may know a lot of things. You may have read and understood many new things lately. But when you actually awaken, you find a way to communicate them, to speak them. They're a fifth chakra thing. You're able to communicate. You're able to spread the good news. Don't they say that in Christianity? Yeah, to spread the good news. you're able to do that. And when you spread the good news, you're able to touch many people. With this card, you would be a very good person to help people who are transitioning. So I often see this in people who should be working with people who are dying, or people who are sick, or people who are in hospice. It would be a very good job for you, because it wouldn't be sad for you, it would be joyful. And the next card, ironically, is Heaven's Door. So you're knock knock. I wish Dave was here. He could do knock knock knocking on Heaven's Door, right? So Heaven's Door means that you are going to be working directly with helping the people of Earth to move forward. What this means is, if I was maybe in a couple of videos, I'll show you how I draw people's energy. But you would have Pentecostal flame above your head. That means that you actually have a mission. It means that you came here with a ray to actually do something that's going to change the way people live. That's going to change the way they anticipate things. If you might be moved to read the Dalai Lama's book on death and dying, because they have a much, the Buddhists and the Dalai Lama in particular, have a much different view on death. That it's a time to celebrate all of the wonderful things you did, rather than to dwell on your sins. So it's something that I think you would be great to be a celebrant like that. And then moving towards the light. Your job is to help people move towards the light. Now, that said, with this card, sometimes it'll indicate an ability to be a medium. Many times people, the most important thing in being a medium is not to get a message from Uncle Joe or whatever. That's good, but it helps souls to move towards the light. I think some of the work I've done, when I feel that being opening up the door to light and moving towards heaven, it's such a wonderful feeling. And sometimes they have to hear it from a person who's material. This is just really beautiful, because it looks a lot like what the angels have told me is the garden that's outside the gates of heaven. So I think that's really nice. So you're going to help people to move towards the light. Okay, take care.
All right.
All right. Also, you're always free to let me know how you're doing, or was I right on, or send a heart. Okay.
All right. We've got, am I pronouncing this right? Beta?
Bieta.
Bieta?
I'm sorry. Okay.
All right. 92575, and she's from Brazil.
Okay, that's very interesting. Beata. There we go. Okay. So Beata, I'm so glad that you're listening. I'm so glad that you asked for a reading. The ray that you've come in on now is I am beautiful. So I am beautiful. The card has a beautiful pond and reflections of nature in it. It tells you that every bit of you is beautiful inside and out. That's what's happening in your life right now. Sometimes your immediate response is, I am not. So I've been through that, where I was told I was so beautiful, and I thought, yeah, right. I wondered, has anybody been there and said that? You need to believe it. That's what your ray is telling you. You need to believe that there is beauty in imperfection. One time I asked the angels, why was it? I was disappointed in many healers and gurus and people who were found to have feet of clay. You know, that they maybe weren't what we would consider to be holy men. And the angel said God chooses cracked vessels. So that one little thing made me feel really good, because there are some times in life I haven't made the best of decisions. It happens to all of us. But the idea that God gives you a chance to use that experience to understand that you are beautiful, that you're loved, and you're filled with the grace of God. So that's what you are, Beata. That's wonderful. And then the next one is that there is a source of life for you. Ironically, she's from Abinjanya, which is where John of God is. This looks a lot like the sacred waterfall. And water is the source of life. So you're going to be entering into a journey that has something to do with water. You may actually have to move closer to the sea. You might be inspired to help people to work on purifying our water, or some kind of an ecological thing. But water is the thing right now that's taking your imagination, that's filling you. And it's very important for you to be part of that, to be part of that water. And then lastly, initiation. It means you get invited to barbecue with the angels. Really, so many times I've wished they'd just invite me over to their house, right? Can I just come and play with you and hear what you're talking about, smoke a cigar, have some Barbie? Initiation means that instead of looking up, you sit at a table, a round table, with all the various wonderful beings that are helping. I can't tell you how important that is, because if you're doing a meditation, here's one you can try. You go to a special room. Outside of the room, you hang your coat on a hook. You go inside, and there's a giant round table. And you sit down, and the various angels and guides sit down at the table with you. And you have this stunning realization that you sit at the table equally with them. Your life experience, your struggles, set you right on the same level as Archangel Michael. You all have opinion, and you all have a way of looking at things that can be incredibly valuable if you all talk to each other. So that's what this is, Beata. Talk to each other. You've made it. You've made it to the initiation table. You are wise and wonderful. Take care. Okay.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, our next one is Deb, and her birthday is 2/14/96, and she's from Downers Grove.
Okay, Deb. Oh, Deb. Okay. This is an Archangel Michael card. It's called Liberation, and it also has the sacred triangle on it with the Eye of Horus in it. It means that the ray you're in right now, you want to be free from all of the material things that have frightened you, bound you up, trying to figure out. You want to do the work of God, and you don't want to have to be bound by constraints. You feel as if you just want to be free, and when you reach that freedom, you'll have the knowledge to be able to share with others. This is beautiful. Archangel Michael is a warrior, so he's going to be able to stand by your side and help you to cut all those ties that don't serve you. But since you have a wonderful heart, the liberation might mean that you no longer need to put up with bad behavior. Wonderful heart people will put up with bad behavior forever and ever because they don't want to hurt anybody by being egotistical or by moving in a direction that's for themselves. So what you have to understand is often when you feel that way, you're codependent, and it's the codependent person who has the problem, not the person you're taking care of, and that's really important to understand. So you may have to still care, but stop interfering in people's lives in order to free yourself. One of the ways you do that is you say to somebody, we'll use alcoholism as a thing. So the person really wants to quit drinking, and you've been lecturing them on why they should, right? But what you need to say is, how do you feel? So you have a hangover. So how do you feel? I feel crappy. Okay. That's not too good, is it? Well, no. Who wants to feel bad, right? And then you ask them, well, what's your plan? So you don't have to feel this way anymore. What's the plan? You can't make the plan for them. You would like to, wouldn't you, Anne-Marie?
Yes.
Yes. Anne-Marie is a good plan maker. So make the plan, right? They need to make the plan, and then you tell them, okay, let me know if I can be of assistance in that plan. Let me know when you need me. Otherwise, they will constantly want you to make the plan, want you to live their lives for them, and it's not good. They have to make their own plan, and so that's what you have to learn, Deb. When you do this, yay, success. You have the beautiful success card. So, and I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, don't think you're very far away. It's just you might be tying up a few loose ends. Then you're going to have success. Now, sometimes success is a burden in and of itself. So as you, in your success, I see that you're going to impact a lot of lives, that you're going to actually be an agent for change, and that you will have learned to step back and witness instead of giving your opinion. But when you do, you're going to have the strength to do it. And this is a really beautiful card because this is Buddha, and Buddha is saying, be present. It's the here and now that counts. It's every second of every day that's totally important. And it's not important what tomorrow brings. It's important to be present today. Because being present, you are fully aware and can appreciate your surroundings, the loving people that are around you, the sun that comes up, etc. So you're going to have that Buddha-like nature that's going to... Okay, we're back. Alrighty. So next...
I think we would do Vanessa.
Vanessa!
And her birthday is 4/21/87, and she's from Chicago.
Oh, Vanessa.
Sorry, I don't have the answer to that question.
Oh, that's my robot. It's my. I have an Alexa, so I can ask Alexa to do things, and she's been incredibly helpful because she turns on and off lights. And being handicapped, I can ask her to turn on lights. I can ask Alexa, play a Beatles song. And no, she's not working. Alexa, play a Beatles song.
Shuffling songs by the Beatles.
Oh, here comes the sun. That's so perfect. Alexa, you're so excited. Here comes the sun. Your new child, Vanessa, is a beautiful child. And it's a here comes the sun kind of a thing. So it's like filling your life and the life of your family with great joy. So Alexa, stop. That's just absolutely, don't you just love miracles when they happen? That's so beautiful. And that's what this is. It's comfort. It's take time to comfort your child. Vanessa just had a child, and it's enjoy that. Your time right now is to give comfort to your family, give comfort to your friends, be there, be the earth mother. That's where you are right now. Here comes the sun. It's beautiful. In the little not too far future, okay, there's going to be an inner calling. It's when the avatar comes up, or when you begin. So I hear angels. So they're over here. It's not Anne-Marie, it's an angel. And she just said that there's going to be some communication you have. And I do believe it's going to be communication, not with spirits, but with something that I don't usually talk about. It may be other life forms from other places. So don't be afraid of that. If it does happen, you're going to be a wonderful ambassador. So I would name you Ambassador Vanessa in a heartbeat. Ambassador to Mars, okay? All right. And then when you do that, you're going to reach higher consciousness. So you've done your work, you've produced this new life, you've brought sunshine into the world, and now you're going to be able to take that higher consciousness you've developed, and you're going to be able to share it with everyone. And see, that's the planets and the stars, just what I said. Ooh. Okay, Vanessa, you take care.
Well, Donna wants a reading for Jeffrey, and his birthday is 3/2/84 in Oakland, Illinois.
Oakland? Okay.
Well, I'm reading my writing right.
You're reading your own writing. Okay.
Can't read it.
somebody named Jeffrey. Jeffrey needs to figure out where he's going and what he's doing. That's what when you come in on the ray of looking for the light, in modern times, it would be the light bulb going on and somebody going like, aha, aha, the light bulb went on. So it's finding that light. One of the things that you can do is have different experiences. Oftentimes when you're a seeker, you end up not wanting to leave the house. You end up becoming, your world becomes smaller and smaller, and the light has to do with experience, not the computer. Honestly, although they're wonderful and I'm coming to you on a computer type thing, that's so amazing, it's not the same as being here and giving me a hug. When you actually experience something or someone, it's a big different thing. So I think the Australians go on walkabout, so it's about time he went on walkabout. When he does that, we have here Archangel Ariel again, an opportunity. Sometimes when she comes into a reading for a male, it might be about going into the service or having some kind of, not necessarily military, but some kind of raising money for the Cancer Society or whatever, a mission. All right, so it looks as if once he discovers, it'll be relatively easy for him to move into the opportunity, and that's not very far away. It would be December, January. And then it's also, the inner child card came up. With all this pressure to change, one of the things we often forget is to play. So when somebody's a seeker, when somebody's doing some very serious things and you really want them to be successful, you also have to allow them time to laugh, to play, to come together with friends, to do some role-playing games. So please allow that play to come, because it'll unlock his genius. Okay, take care. All right.
All right. Am I allowed to touch anything here?
Yeah.
Because I want to see those comments.
Oh, okay, we have to just touch comments.
See, you're such...
I know.
I'm just...
You know, but while you're figuring it out, and here, we have to turn down the... We have to turn... There you go. Okay, so I'm going to do a commercial. I'm going to do a commercial for myself. I do readings, and you can text me if you'd like to do a private reading. And if you're new, it's $1 a minute. If you've been a former client, it's $2 a minute, but we have specials on and off. Just text me and ask. And the number is 630-554-5040. I'm always there, and I always answer your questions. If you have an emergency question, I'll be glad to answer. There's no charge for that. And the second thing is, on our page, we have this. It's Amy's Dead Sea Mud Mask. When we were talking about being beautiful before, it's important that you give your body what it needs in order to live a long and successful life. And one of the things I've seen in my clients is that they'll often feel as if they're getting older. You know, their hair begins thinning, women and men. Their faces don't have that glow. So I actually, with the help of the angels, designed this. This is my product. I made it. It's it's in the United States, the people who put it together for me. And it has magnesium, which is, we're all low in magnesium, and as you get older, it gets even worse. It's one of the things that they think actually causes aging, and you can't really take it internally very well. It's better if it comes in through your skin. It has honey, it has shea butter, it has joba joba oil, which is one of the oils that it has such a small molecule that it can penetrate your skin or your hair. It has coffee elixir, so that the coffee elixir stimulates your scalp. And when I first did it, I did it for face. You know, I wanted, my mother, she didn't have wrinkles. She died when she was 95, and she didn't have any wrinkles, which is amazing. And she always told me, take care of your face, take care of yourself, take care of your skin. And I learned when I was doing different healings that skin is one of our largest organs. So I was very excited to always use different beauty products, but I wanted something that was inexpensive. and easy to use, and that would be totally organic and have no preservatives or anything that could hurt you, no scents. The only scent is the scent of the coffee, so you try it, like, just please don't eat it, it's not good. And then I discovered that if I put it on my hair, it shined up my hair. My hair, I always wore little extensions and things, but now it's thickening up. And what you do is you just slather it on your hair, sit and wait for 5 minutes, take your shower, wash it out real well, and then shampoo, and it's amazing. So underneath this, there's a link to Amazon. It's Amy's Dreamy Dead Sea Mud Masks. That's a little whimsical. And you can just type that in, or you can click the link. And right now for the special, Black Friday special, while supplies last, I think we have about 300 of them. They're on sale for just $7.50 from the normal of $19.95. So that's my commercial. And let's get on to the next reading.
Are we ready?
Okay.
Oh, I have to tell you though, I have tried that mud and I really do like it on my face.
Come here, put your face in.
No. I gotta put it on tonight. You can't let me do that now. All right, let's do Lisa, 12/12/69 from Naperville.
Okay, Lisa from Naperville. The ray that's the most active in your world right now is learning. You really want to take classes. You really want to read books. You want to learn things. It's almost like you're a crazy woman. You're insatiable in wanting to learn new things. You have to give in to that. Don't worry. It's why God made libraries. So you don't have to spend a lot of money, but you do have to look at all different kinds of facets of learning. Now, it doesn't have to necessarily be spiritual, but in your case, I think that it is. So you can just make kind of a wish list, a book wish list. You can either order them on Amazon, or you can go ahead and talk to your librarian and they'll order them in for you. But it's important you give in to that, because that scholar in you is coming big right now. You might actually want to go back to regular school. That might be a thing that's burning desire inside of you, perhaps to get that degree or that master's degree. You will be successful if you do. The next card, the one where you are right now, is joy. So many times, I actually think the most important angels are the joy angels. They come when you may have disconnected a little bit from life. You may not feel very joyful. These past few months have been kind of scary for everybody. But the fact of the matter is, you're the one who chooses. You're the one who chooses to be joyful. So each day you can look for a reason to be joyful, and don't say there is nothing to be joyful about. What do you mean? Because there is things to be joyful about. Every day, in every way, there's something to be joyful about. That's one of the blessings of the internet. You can look up joyful things, and it's really, it can touch your heart. So right now, it's important to embody that joy. And so with the learning and the joy, you're going to find yourself fulfilled. I think that's amazing, because fulfillment means I am fulfilled, and I am fulfilled because I do this, and I love what I do. Anne-Marie asked me before we started, like, oh, is your energy going to be okay for this? Yes. I don't know what happens. It's just the minute I start doing it, the energy rains down on me, and I am supported by all of the angels and all of the spirits. When you find a job or a way of life that does that to you, that's the right one. So pick wisely. Okay, take care. Okay. Yay.
All right, let's try Jessie, 9/13/82.
Okay. Okay, Jessie, you have releasing. There's a spirituality that comes out of Hawaii. It's called Ho'oponopono. And the root of that spirituality is that the things you have not forgiven yourself are what causes illness. So they say, okay, I'll just use Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie, I love you. Please forgive me. I'm so sorry. Thank you. Simple. Anne-Marie, please forgive me. I'm so sorry. I love you. Thank you. There is no friction between Anne Marie and I, but maybe back 10 lifetimes ago, we duped it out or something happened. When I say that, I'm taking responsibility. So when you release, you take responsibility for how you're feeling, and usually it has to do with another person, and you release them as well as yourself. It's the basis for a lot of our spirituality. They just change it around a little bit. So what you have to do is you have to work on releasing. So Ho'oponopono is something you might want to look up. It's not easy, but it's not hard either. And you want to clear yourself. And the reason you want to clear yourself is Archangel Michael is going to come into your life somewhere around the end of December. And you're going to come into some very powerful energy. When you come into that powerful energy, you don't want it to get blocked or caught anywhere. You want it to always flow through you. And the more you let it flow through you, the more powerful you become. So this means that it can be personal power, it can also be money, it can be the power to influence others, it can be the power to change a relationship or to save a child. It's going to be quite amazing, and you want to be able to embody that without letting it hurt you. When you do that, the other side of power is harmony. So you will come into like the meadow is what I call it. That place where you know you are so powerful that you don't have to put up with bad behavior, and you don't necessarily have to do anything about it either, because your harmony is so great it'll just bring anybody who's discordant into the fold. So you don't have to work at it, you just be it. So that's where you're headed. It's going to be a pretty exciting end of the year in 2017. Take care. Okay.
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 All right.
We're good.
Let's try Joanne, 32852 from Yorkville.
Okay, Joanne, sweetie. You have the Archangel Raphael as a woman, but Archangel Raphael is all about healing and health. It means that in your case, it's optimizing your health so as to prevent any unhealthy thing from happening. You're always given an opportunity to change things before something negative comes. And I'm not saying that there is anything negative coming. What I am saying, though, is that it's time to get stronger. It's time to pay attention. There's a lot of interesting new things out there. There's Anne Marie and I have been trying a hydrogen generator that you actually just plug into a USB port, and it fills distilled or pure water with hydrogen. And we don't get enough hydrogen because we drink water that's too still, so it doesn't get that hydrogen exchange like it got from tumbling over the rocks in a stream. And it really helps your energy. I've been able to heal at a rate that's like that of a 10-year-old. So, I mean, it's been pretty amazing. The doctors all go like, wow, how are you still alive? So it's the hydrogen water. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Look for different ways to optimize yourself. The next one is the Ascension card. It means that you are going to give up things that tethered you to the earth, and that you are going to be able to see things much more clearly from more on high. I've noticed this card is very prevalent when, again, new lives come in. So I felt that way when I looked at my grandchildren. So grandchildren are a really good thing. They open up a doorway in your heart, and you become wiser. You always treat your grandchildren better than you treated your children. That's just the way it is.
You have more time.
Yeah, you have more time, and you've had more time to grow up and to be better. So that's where you stand is in ascension. And then in the end, it's letting go. It's letting go of how you think things should be, and not accepting at all. You know, when you let go, you're able to make better, healthier choices. It's not like let go and accept that life isn't the way you wanted it to be. That's not it at all. You let go so you can create your dreams. So go and create your dreams, Joanne. Take care.
Listen, I have to say that Diane wants to say that she misses Dave's
Ah, come on, we're funny. Dave.
Well, See, I'm new to this.
Well, she's funny. She's good. He's really funny, though. It is one of his rays of light. He should have been a stand-up comedian. You should try living with him. God. Okay.
All right. Vanessa wants a reading for her husband, Sharon. Is that Sheron from Trinidad?
Siobhan.
Sharon.
Okay.
Okay, and his birthday is 9/12/86.
Okay. It may be a little hard living with him right now because he has the infinite potential card. What that means is that he can probably do anything he wants and he will be successful. All human beings have the ability to turn bad news into good news. But when this is your ray, you can make, he would be a great garbage man, he would be a computer genius, he would be a great sailor. He could actually, it's too many choices. So one of the things that that you have to do when there's someone you're living with that has this card is you have to be able to help them to narrow it down. This card, this ray, when it opens up, it'll stay with him. They just said it's been with him for about a year, and it should stay for another couple of years, so he's not going to run out of time to try new things. But one of the things is the genius of creation. So this is I am creator. So I would really challenge and suggest that he invents something. That really and truly creating something and creating wealth for his family is where he should be. And it's going to be coming up sometime in December that the idea will come to him. It's always a difficult journey because you can be very enthusiastic about something and the rest of the world isn't, which is very annoying. But this is going to be something that is like you slap your head and you say, oh my God, that was so obvious, okay? You go ahead and just think outside of the box. One of the things about this is it doesn't have to be a job that's normal. So creating or being an inventor is not necessarily normal. And once you come up with a thought, then it says here, using higher thought forms, you'll be able to promote it. So Vanessa, you will help him. I would be glad. I love helping entrepreneurs and inventors. So we'll all help each other. One of the things we're creating by having everybody here online is we're creating kind of a good old spiritual network. So that we're all here to help each other. We're all here to listen to people's thoughts. We're all here to support each other. And so he's going to have the support that's going to help make it real. And he's going to have a joyful and happy life. You're lucky to live with someone like that. Okay, take care.
Well, that was good.
Well, they're
all
all
good,
cards.
but some of them are really... Okay, there's another Diane from Plainfield, and her birthday's 3/13/56.
Okie dokie. So, there was a character in Greek mythology called Dionysius. So, looking for the truth. So this is a card about looking for the truth. One of the things about looking for truth is that you can be really, oh, thank you for the smiley face. You can be really exhausted in the journey because truth is pretty flexible. It depends on that hardening of the attitudes, how you believe. And that's one of the things about the election that I found really astounding, because I got to understand truth as being many-faceted, just like the individuals I read. There's no such thing as the truth that's absolute. The truth depends on the ever-changing environment and people's minds and how the morphic fields shift. So you came in on the ray of finding the truth, but what you want to do is be flexible. The most important thing for you is these words: I changed my mind. Because you might actually totally and completely believe something one day, tell everybody, and the next day you discover something that negates it. Don't be afraid. Just say, you know what, I found something different that changes my mind. and I'm going to integrate that into my thought about this, and all will be well. Next card is You Are Never Alone. This is a beautiful card because it shows the angel hugging you. And so I want you to know on your journey for the truth, you're not alone. Everybody's there with you. Everybody there is reaching out to protect you and to touch your heart, because the seekers of the light, the seekers of truth, are very important to us. We need you in the world, because otherwise we never have understanding. We just all take our stance and go to war. So you're going to really help that. And there's plenty of people there to help you. And then the last is awareness. Once again, it's the alien card. Awareness of not only our own situation, but the multidimensional, interplanetary, Galaxian type of world. So you're going to be able to see, if you don't know about them, you might want to study literature on the Palladians. You might want to look up Ashtar, A-S-H-T-A-R. You might want to look up some of the other people. There's a serious woman channeling out of Russia right now, and she's talking what all of these different things are saying. And that will just blow your little mind looking for the truth. Okay, take care.
I have to tell you, Vanessa wrote and said, you are right about my husband. He has so many ideas.
Yep, I knew it.
All right. Ari wants a reading.
Okay.
3/27/87. And she wants to know what's next in love, work, and life.
Okay. Just a little bit. Just life, the universe, and everything, huh, Ari? Okay. Positive intention. I don't know how to... Okay, let me think. When you wake up in the morning... Oh, no, I'll tell another story. Okay. Okay. I'm divorced. And when my husband and I divorced, my children and I had a good time talking about all the mistakes my husband had made in his divorce. It brought me really close to my children, because they could call me up and I would go, yada da yada da, Dad did this, yada da yada da. Then one day I realized that what we were doing is we were interacting in such a negative way, we were bringing down the energy of the entire family. Because in our interactions, the yada da had no place. So when you're spiritual, sometimes the entities, the darker energies, the people who don't necessarily like you, they provide that yada da. So oftentimes in spiritual world, there becomes things that are witch wars. So with my children, what I began doing is saying, how about them Cubs? So see what happened? So we are responsible for the Cubs winning the series. That's just it. So we didn't talk any longer in any form of negativity about the situation. My heart changed. I am not very, I'm almost totally immune to negativity now. I just say, well, bless their hearts, because anybody who's negative or anybody who I'm judging, I should watch out that I be judged. You know how that goes? Mm-hmm. So that's what this is about. This is what this card says. You want to have always a positive and uplifting intention, and then the way will be made clear. The next one, door to the infinite. What that means is that you're going to be getting a lot of information. I happen to know that Ari is also a psychic and a channel. She sometimes comes here to do readings, and she's been oftentimes on the radio show. But this says that you have to be careful. When you're in the infinite, you might lose your grounding. You lose where you are, and you begin to yearn for things that have yet to come because you can see them, but you can't quite touch them. The answer is always love the one you're with, always, because if you're feeling uncomfortable, you don't want to carry that discomfort into the future, because you will. So it's like the Dalai Lama says, don't become a Buddhist until you reconcile all the feelings you have about your religion, because he doesn't need your crap. That's the way it is. So in the future, you'll still have your crap. Sorry, it's a spiritual word. So in the future, don't carry that around. Reconcile it now. And the last one is the application. When you do that, your light will be released, and you will actually, in motion, show people how to elevate yourself and how to be amazing and wonderful. So in general, when I see this in a reading, it means that people are probably irritating you. So don't let them do that. Don't let them steal your energy. Take a deep breath, take a higher view, step up on the mountain, and all will be well. Take care, Aries, sweetie. Okay.
Well, I think I have everybody.
I am so happy. So, Anne-Marie, are you going to learn to be funnier? Can you tell us a joke?
You didn't prepare me for that. You
I'm
didn't
sorry.
say that
I
was
just
part
said,
of
"Come
what I
help."
needed to do.
I know.
I mean, it's like, well, I can't replace Dave. He's just got this job. What can I say? I'm just here to
Look at all
help you out.
Okay, if you love Dave, tap heart. If you love Dave, because we'll give him a gift. Because even on the replay, you'll see all the hearts coming. So if you love Dave, go ahead and tap heart. Oh, look. Oh, that's so cute. Dave, you're loved. We miss you, and Dave will be back next week. He's with his mommy right now, and he's having the best of times visiting with old friends and his parents. And we love you, and thank you so much for listening. And please share the replay of this. It's on the site. Share it with your friends. The more people who understand what a wonderful world we live in, the better. Take care and love you all. Okay.